So here's something that nobody is really talking about when it comes to the avoidant after the breakup. And I'm going to talk about it in this video, how they really feel after ghosting you. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of speculation out there about what they're feeling. But guys, remember, I work with avoidants every day. I work with anxious attachment. I work with fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant. I work with secure attachers. I work with attachment theory every single day, 6 days a week. And I myself am a healing fearful avoidant. And I can tell you that what you think your avoidant ex is feeling isn't really what they're feeling. So if you're new to the channel, have a look around. My name is Sarah. I'm a mindset mastery coach, transformational hypnotherapist, and attachment style specialist. And when an avoidant ghosts you, and it looks like they just vanished without a second thought, that's not the whole truth. They are in hiding, okay? They are in the shadows, they're lurking. And inside their mind, ghosting isn't the cold indifference that it looks like. There's a lot going on inside their mind. They are under immense stress and pressure because they're constantly trying to hide everything, push everything down, suppress and repress. That has an effect on somebody's nervous system. They're basically in a constant state of flight, okay? Sympathetic nervous system. They are not regulated. They are what we would call dysregulated. What they're feeling, what they're showing you is relief, okay? It's relief. It's not that they are just like, oh, skipping off into the sunset. They feel a relief because suddenly their nervous system is no longer being pinged by your anxious attachment or by your fearful avoidant attachment, okay? You're not expecting something from them. They don't know how to handle it when someone expects something from them. So the reason it feels like relief has everything to do with their nervous system. They can go from actually being triggered to feeling calm. They can actually bring themselves out of that sympathetic nervous system and into a state of ventral, which is basically a stable, secure nervous system, right? For a brief period of time. So let me take you inside their head in this video. The very moment that your avoidant pulled away or ghosted or broke up with you, it's like their body goes, you know how you feel when you get a test score, you did better than you thought you did, or when you got into college, you're like, oh, relief, right? Or you got the job that you so desperately needed, right? Or I'm just throwing out examples. Finally, I don't have to deal with that pressure anymore. I can breathe again. I can exhale. And truthfully, your nervous system heals in the exhale and not the inhale, if you study the biochemistry of the nervous system. So really when someone says take a deep breath, what they really mean is take a really deep exhale. Yes, inhale, but then take a really deep exhale. So to you, intimacy and closeness might have felt really good. You might have craved that. Your attachment system might have needed that. But to them, it feels like an alarm is consistently going off. Okay, it's like every time you get close, it's like danger, 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 right? Even when there's no fire, no actual threat, their body senses this and feels this, and they actually experience this. So when they ghost, it's like they've just ripped the batteries out of the alarm. And finally, they're like, oh my God, it's quiet again. And then everything settles. It's like the dust settles from the breakup. You know, memories of you are extinguished. Yes, they will do that. Okay, it's I get it. It looks bad. It looks heartless and cold, and it looks like they lack remorse. It's just how they're dealing with it. So you can think of it like hitting the emergency eject button, like on a crashing plane, right? Hitting that button and suddenly, I believe you would have a parachute, the pilots, right? I don't know, does everybody? I don't know, I think it's just the pilots. And then, actually that's how my dad's dad died. He crashed mid-flight. There wasn't time for them to push the eject button, sadly. So my grandfather passed away at 35. But it would be like pressing that eject button and finally like, oh my God. Okay, the plane's going down, but I'm not going with it, right? They're not fixing anything, guys. The avoidants never fix anything. They're just running away from their problems. They're ejecting themselves to escape that feeling that they've lost control, because when there's closeness and intimacy, an avoidant feels like I've lost control of the situation. I need to abort mission. So why this relief feels addictive to an avoidant? Let's talk about that in this part. Their relief isn't just inside their head. Again, it's in their body. It's in their nervous system. Their heart rate will slow down. Remember, they've been in sympathetic flight mode. Now they're going to go back into ventral, regulated mode. Their heart rate will slow. That tightness in their chest eases up and relaxes. They feel more spaciousness inside their body. They can breathe deeper. Okay, they might sleep more soundly. So their nervous system goes from high alert back into what feels like safety. It's kind of like imagine wearing, like, to use the analogy of wearing clothes or shoes that are too small for you. Like, remember when you outgrew shoes when you were younger, how uncomfortable that was until mom or dad could get you a new pair? Sometimes it was a little while, right? If you lived paycheck to paycheck, like my parents did. And so that, it's like that experience, it's so uncomfortable. And suddenly they've got shoes or clothes that fit. They're like, oh, I feel like myself again, right? Then they're gonna go off searching for the next soulmate. Well, that wasn't it, but this one is it. It's like the funhouse of mirrors that I've talked about. If you haven't, guys, watch my videos. I have playlists out there, watch them, because I talk about it, exactly what that is. But it's true, okay? There's a funhouse of mirrors for all of us until we learn our attachment style and heal. So the second that those shoes come off or the tight clothes come off, it's like instant relief. Their feet can breathe. They're not swollen anymore. They don't get blisters anymore. They can breathe. Okay, the buttons aren't bursting at the seams. They're like, oh, space. So that's what ghosting or breaking up feels like for them, even if you were married to them like I was. The other analogy that I wrote down here that I have in my notes is imagine like you're drowning, right? Or you're... maybe not that extreme. Imagine that you're holding your breath underwater. Like when you were learning how to swim, that feeling of trying to hold it for a little bit longer and feeling that stress build up in your body and your lungs. Ghosting is like shooting to the surface, okay? Breaking up is like shooting to the surface and you're like, their lungs fill up again. I can breathe again. There's nothing pushing me down. There's nothing forcing me to stay. I feel free. So space equals survival to their body, to their nervous system, to their cells. And that's why ghosting or breaking up feels so good to them. That's why leaving feels so good to them, because in the moment, they're just repeating a pattern. Now here's the avoidant loop that I want to talk about. Here's where it gets really tricky, guys. That instant relief teaches their body, see, I was right. Closeness isn't safe. Closeness is scary. Closeness is a threat to our survival. It's dangerous. It's distance that keeps me alive. All right, okay? So it's distance that keeps me alive. That's what they think. That's what they actually believe. You can ask them. So every time they ghost, their nervous system's like, I'm rewarded. I feel calm and I feel safe and I feel at peace. This must be a good thing. This is the way to go every single time things get tough. This is why my ex-husband, one of the reasons why my dismissive avoidant ex-husband didn't refuse to do therapy, did it reluctantly twice, and then bailed each time when we got to the second session. When things were about to get actually real and we were gonna dig into the real stuff, he bounced. And the second time was when he said, I want a divorce in the second session. So we literally got through one session the first time, one session the second time, and he bailed both times. Like, I'm smiling about it, but I was crying about it because I was like, why don't you care enough about me and this marriage to try to save it? He just couldn't go there, guys. I don't hate him for it. He couldn't handle it. It was too much honesty, too much openness, too much vulnerability for his nervous system at that time to be able to handle. It was his capacity. This is about capacity and their ability to hold something, okay? So every time this happens and they're looping like this and they're repeating this pattern, each time they're less likely to stay. They're less likely to face intimacy, guys. My ex-husband, I was his third wife. And some of you will say, well, Sarah, you should have known, okay? When you're in love, you're in love, okay? There were many, many reasons. I could go into a whole, I'm to blame too. There was a whole laundry list of reasons, okay? I was in my 40s. I wanted to get married. Like there's things I overlooked. And that's when I work with you one-on-one, guys, by the way, I'll just throw this little, if you want to work with me one-on-one, click a link below. There's a free 20-minute discovery call, and you can see if you want to work with me. I have several different programs set up now, working with people individually, and then I'm launching a group program. I know I keep pushing it back. It's because I'm in the I've moved a couple times here, guys. Moving through this divorce, okay, moved cross country. So my official move is is at the end of October, my birthday. It's actually on my birthday, Halloween. And then November, I will launch the course when I'm in my new place, new energy. Actually, nobody has lived there before. So I'm super excited to bring you the course. It's very intentional to bring you the course from that place. It's called The Closure Cure. And it's going to be a 6-week program with me and others and a group setting. And I cannot wait to share that with you. Okay, so that being said, a little plug there for my services, because I have to put it somewhere. Their nervous system, this is an automatic, like I'm running, I'm going to run away. Do I think they regret it? Yes. Do I think you'll ever hear about it? No, probably not. Honest answer, guys. So here's another analogy, because metaphors, the brain loves metaphors. I know this being a hypnotist. When you're in pain, I'll give you an example. I pulled my labrum in my shoulder. Don't recommend it. Led to frozen shoulder, even more painful. So like a tear on top of frozen shoulder. Don't recommend it. And then my doctor said, well, thin white women in their premenopausal tend to, I'm like, great, oh, great. So I'm like, awesome, I'm both. Can you paint me purple? You know what I mean? Anyway, so that was extremely painful. Like one of the most physically painful things, if not the most physically painful thing I've ever experienced. Keep in mind, I haven't had children, okay? So pretty sure I'm pretty sure having children, that pain tops anything. So you pop the painkillers and that discomfort or pain, that throbbing sensation or the aching goes away and it dulls it for a little while. So what happens is they leave the relationship, they're like, instantaneous relief, which is why you find them dating again or getting back into their hobbies or seemingly just brushed it off like they're fine. But the real injury is underneath. When you take a couple Advil, you're not gonna fix it. I also, a couple months ago, I was doing shoulder hangs too, because those are really good for your shoulder, by the way. However, when you've had a labrum tear, you gotta be really careful. So what had happened was the muscles weren't strong enough in my back, right in my shoulder, to really be doing the shoulder hangs yet. I probably needed to wait like another 6 months or so. And I pulled my shoulder out of its socket, excruciating pain. That topped what I felt before. And someone said, just do hypnosis for that. I said, well, when something is out of its socket, hypnosis is not going to put it back in its socket. I know the limitations of the work that I do. We don't promise like magical things. We promise things that are possible. So yeah, it helped with the pain. It helped to relieve the pain. But to get the shoulder back in its socket, I had to actually go see my neuromuscular massage therapist, who's amazingly skilled. Anyway, between the hypnosis and a few Advil, I don't think the Advil really did anything. I don't think they did anything. But the pain was dulled. But then it's going to wear off. And that ache and that pain and that emptiness inside of them, they're like, oh, it reveals itself again, okay? That ache and pain that a dismissive avoidant feels never goes away until they address their attachment system, until they address their nervous system, okay? And they work with somebody like me or a therapist, or they do their own work themselves. But really, guys, we heal inside the container of a relationship with someone we trust, whether that's a romantic relationship or with a therapist or a hypnotherapist and coach like myself. You heal inside the container of a relationship. So here's the cost of relief for the dismissive avoidant. From the outside, it looks like they're apathetic and they don't care and they've just moved on with their life. But what you're really watching is a nervous system literally trying to survive. It's an ancient system, guys, ancient, and it's just trying to keep them alive. So it feels safe to them, but it comes with a cost, because every time they run, they're teaching themselves, they're teaching their nervous system, they're teaching the walls that they have around their heart and their soul, they're reinforcing those walls, and that fortress gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the true tragedy of Guys, I had speech therapy when I was younger. That is, God, if you can't make fun of yourself right now in this world, man, you're going to be lost. It's the true tragedy. I did it. I said it, of ghosting. Okay. It comes with a cost, and it's a significant cost, guys. They end up alone. Okay. So what brings them relief is also what leads them to feeling very lonely and isolated in this life. It's very sad. So here's what I want to say as I close out this video. How do they really feel after ghosting you or leaving or discarding or breaking up, whatever you want to call it? Relieved. Honesty. I'm giving you honesty. They feel relieved. Their body shuts off the alarm. Mission aborted. I can start clean. They think I'm starting with a fresh slate. Okay. And the next person will be the one. They really think this, guys. The next person will be the one that finally gets me. Their nervous system is conditioned to fear the very thing that they crave deeply, which is intimacy, closeness, and connection. So until they face that pattern, they will always repeat the pattern, just like all of us, guys. Until you face your anxious attachment or fearful avoidant pattern, you will always repeat it. That's why people come to me. A lot of my clients are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Some are younger, which is amazing because you're catching it younger. Oh my gosh, I love getting clients in their 20s, early 30s. It's like, hallelujah. You caught it so much younger than I did. You've got that much more time to live an amazing, incredible life and to find an incredible partner because you're doing your work. Your job is to stop translating their silence into hope. To stop. Just, it doesn't mean anything. Let it just be. They are where they are. Their capacity is their capacity, guys. This is about you and you moving forward. So if you want to work with me, let me know. Actually, just book the link. Don't let me know. You'll let me know by booking the link to the discovery call. We're going to have a 20-minute chat, and I'm going to see if I think that I can help you, which usually I can. And we're going to start those sessions. And guys, it's funny because people will say to me, well, I can't afford it. If you're buying Starbucks every day or you're going out to lunch twice a week, you can afford working with somebody, me or somebody, to help you heal your life. Like, what's more important to me? Nothing is more important to me than finding joy and fulfillment in this life, than healing from the patterns that have kept me stuck, that have kept me sad and lonely, or from like trusting. I'm going to leave you with this, guys. Do you, be honest with yourself here and let me know in the comments below. Do you honestly feel like you deserve, or do you honestly feel like you deserve a good love? Do you honestly feel like you can handle it? That's the thing that we really have to ask ourselves. If you've consistently attracted emotionally unavailable people, it's likely one of the reasons, because you deep down don't feel worthy of like good, solid, real love. So think about that. Just food for thought, guys. The world needs more love right now. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. And just think about what you can do to contribute to society. And we all can do the work within to contribute to society. Loving ourselves better, loving each other better, and understanding that, God, life is short, guys. Life is short. It can be taken from us at any moment. So go hug a loved one today. Hug your pet. Be thankful that you were given this day. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Making biscuit? Hi, biscuit maker. Oh, you're so cute. What are you gonna make? You're gonna take a bath. Show me your biscuits. Your biscuits. Look at your little socks.